Okay, here we are for part 2 of creating our bunnies' fluffy cheeks. I've got my scissors ready and let's just start. So what we do is we start cutting into this. So I'm going to cut all the loops first. This is a little tedious, this bit, making sure you get them all. For me, I find this the best way to start. Obviously, you might miss a few as you do it, but you'll get them as we keep going on. All right, got most of them. Now I'm just going to start trimming it off. So we want to reduce the length a bit. Okay, now I've noticed in Tomomi's images, she doesn't really explain how she does it. But it appears to me like she goes a little with the bunny, not with all of them, but with the bunny. She is a little shorter around the edges, and because we stitch 3, a little bit of a nose kind of in here, and then a line and some teeth. And I've noticed with hers, I guess she creates a bit more definition by making it shorter around the edges. So I'm just going to do that as well. Make it a little shorter around the edges. Again, I'm doing this at a weird angle, so please don't judge me for any of that. Just want to make sure you don't catch any of your beautiful stitching. This is probably one of the scariest parts of the process, you know, and I think that's the Virgo in me. Not wanting to get it wrong. But they're all unique and individual, and they all come out how they're meant to. I've got some doggies wanting to come in, scratching at the door. Don't know if you could hear that. They'll have to wait. All right, I've got a couple of loops in there that I missed. So I'll start fluffing it up a bit with the end of my scissors. I don't have one of the fancy brushes that she uses. So I generally just get the point of my scissors and start fiddling around with it. Very technical terms I use. I don't think this yarn is going to fluff up as much as what the 4-ply will. So if you use 4-ply for this, you're going to get some good fluff. So I'm leaving a little bit of length on this because I want him to have a very prominent cheek, whatever they are. But we are, sorry, I keep bumping the phone. We are going to put a line down the centre, so we need some definition in here. So I'm just going to create or cut a bit of the length off along here. Oh, I might have gone a bit too far there. This is always the fear, isn't it? Just do a little bit on that side. I'm going to stitch the line down his nose. I didn't bring my yarn out to the studio with me, so I'm just going to do it with DMC. Whether it stays with the DMC or not, I'm not sure, but it's using DMC Pearl 8 and a bit of a charcoal-y colour. Threading my needle. Okay, now what Tomomi does is she does 3 stitches up the top here at different lengths. May require more than 3 with this thread, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to do a double over that. This is all in real time. I don't get a second go at this, but it can be ripped out. Not that I would want to do that. Got a bit of the fluff caught there. There we go. So I've done more than 3 stitches here, but that's because it's with the Pearl 8. I think if you did it with 4-ply, you're not going to need to do that. Right, so that gives a little bit of shape. And then she comes up like so. And puts a line right through the center. So cute. She is so clever with what she does. Look at that. So cute. Okay, and then the next step is to do the teeth, which is literally just white thread, and she does a loop. So she comes up about here, loops it underneath this part, and then goes down like that. And that's all it is. It's just one loop of thread. But I haven't got my white here with me, so I'll show a picture of that later. How's that? What do you think? I'll also add some whiskers. I could add a little bit now. I just need to tighten off my thread. I don't know what colour whiskers we want. Do we want a big black long one, you know, like us older women get, those big black hairs that protrude out of our chin? If you're young, you're probably not experiencing that yet. Okay, so to create the whiskers, what I do is I come up. I may take these out, they could be the wrong colour, but I'll do a couple. So I come up and then I go down, and it's basically, that's like a stay stitch, so that's going to lock it in. And then I'll come back up in any area. It doesn't need to be in the same hole. And then you snip it off to whatever length you want the whisker to be. I'll probably change these simply because I think it's the wrong colour. But anyway, we'll do another one. So I knot the end again, come up, and I do a stay stitch. Trying not to catch anything underneath that. We just want it to go straight down and hide in the background. There we go. And then we come back up again. And snip it off. How's that? Let me know what you think. Should I keep him with grey whiskers or should I change it? Maybe you could have a few white ones and a few grey ones. Let me know what you think. I know this looks a bit rough, but I actually don't mind. I don't mind the roughness of it. Like, I feel like it just gives it more character. Okay. Happy fluffy stitching, everyone.